Hello, my name is Дэвид, Slaiker. I'm the president of the International House of Prayer University. Now, I'm one of your hosts, along with the rest of our team that you'll be meeting very shortly in the next 8 videos and beyond for this year's Return Conference. We are together wanting to lay hold of the wisdom of the Holy Spirit for the hour that's ahead. Here's where we find ourselves. We find ourselves every day in the news shaken by yet another confrontation with the uncertainty of the time, the wickedness of the hour, the growing darkness. We know that there's light, there's hope, there's an invasion of the Holy Spirit and His power coming. We know that the news isn't only bad. But in the context of where we find ourselves, we are being entrusted with the next phase of God's plan to bring history to its ultimate conclusion. Our generation, we're watching the generals, the fathers, the mothers in the faith. We're watching them begin to transition into being with the Lord. And as they do, it's left to us. It's left to you. It's left to me. And folk like us, that's who the Lord entrusts with the stewardship of the time. Folk like you and I. We feel not up to the task. We feel weak. We feel broken. We feel powerless. Sometimes we feel voiceless. And that's what I believe contributes to the fear, the anger, the way in which we respond with an almost unbiblical zeal. It's not sinful, but it's that sense of fear and powerlessness that can sometimes drive the church in ways that doesn't necessarily reflect the heart of the Lord. And our desire, as you, as the next generation of leaders and voices and messengers and servants of the Lord, as the next generation begins to step into leadership and begins to step into a new expression of serving by the grace of God, we want to do our part as a ministry here in Kansas City in serving you, the friends of the bridegroom, our international family of affection, as we call the folks that are like-minded, like-hearted, and wanting to lay hold of the future together. We want to serve, and we want to begin to lay the tracks for what it means to take hold of leadership, serving, and ministry in the uncertain hour that we live. We don't have to shrink back, but I find that believers aren't shrinking back. They're in some ways doing the opposite. They're rising up in ways that aren't always reflective of the heart of Jesus, the Sermon on the Mount, the life of the intercessor, the voice of the forerunner. We believe there is a voice in the wilderness that's going to emerge in the days ahead, empowered by the Holy Spirit, fueled by a life of prayer and intercession, and formed by a Sermon on the Mount mindset. We believe that the Lord's going to help us in the days ahead. And so what are the next 8 videos for? Like last year, and last year's videos are available on YouTube. They're there online for you to catch up on the conversation. The Holy Spirit has been emphasizing themes and subjects last year, this year, throughout the spring. The Holy Spirit is speaking and moving in very clear ways. And there's this unfolding storyline that it's not an IHOPKC storyline. It's not about Mike Bickle or any of the leadership team. It's a global storyline that the Holy Spirit's calling attention to. And we want to take the next 8 videos and help onboard you to what we believe the Holy Spirit is emphasizing. And we believe that as we do that, that changes the way that we engage with the content and the preaching and the worship. All that comes with a conference like the Return Conference, it's just different when you feel like you're in the middle of the flow of what the Holy Spirit's doing. And that's our goal. That here in Kansas City or wherever you are, if you're coming to Kansas City or you're watching from the nations of the earth, all of us are in this grand story together, this grand family plan of the Father to bring the church into her fullness, Israel into salvation, and Jesus to the planet. Here we are for such a time as this. These can be some of the most glorious hours of history, but we want to put our hand to the plow together and lay hold of everything the Lord has for us. So we are excited for these videos to unfold, and we're excited to see you in a few weeks. Bless you all.